kind of weird.
What's that?
I put Discord right between the two monitors. So, I've got everybody, and then I'm split in half. It's weird.
Hopefully that's not fortune telling for the episode.
All right, let me move it over. Everybody on the right is getting it. There we go.
Go ahead and get started. I'm just changing shirts real quick.
Oh, no problem. All right, so we're live, folks. Welcome back
Thanks
to the
for taking
Mystic
our camera
Syndicate. So yeah, welcome back to the Mystic Syndicate. I'm your Dungeon Master Brian, and we are here once again with our friends from the Drunkards and Dragons gaming group. We are playing, of course, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. This is the homebrew campaign, A Princess of Celene. We are on episode 45. So getting closer to 50. It's
almost caught up to our age.
I know, right? It's like, ooh, yeah. It's like,
big for yourself, old man.
Russ said you were like 60.
oh,
In dog years.
Who? Russ?
No, you.
Me? 60?
In dog years.
No.
So,
He said something rode hard and put away wet.
oh, ouch.
Nice. We're having weather.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, before we get started, I'd like to go ahead and make sure to give some thanks out to Anna B. Meyer for her beautiful maps. I'm not sure if we're going to be using a lot of the maps this evening, but in the future, we are definitely going to be using some more of her beautiful, beautiful maps. If you haven't had a chance, go over to her Patreon, check out her newest map, a GPS style map, which is absolutely beautiful. So
Here comes ground warfare.
So make sure to check that out. And if you have a couple of spare dollars to throw her away, you get access to some of her newest creations. So yeah, definitely check her out and see what she has to offer. Of course, we are using for our virtual tabletop Roll20. So big old thanks goes out to the folks at Roll20 for keeping that thing up and running, because it just it seems to be that they change it every so often, and it just keeps getting better and better as they add new interesting features. A big fan of Roll20. I've actually been a member or been using it since 2012. So 12 years of using this tabletop system. It's really good. We're using Wizards of the Coast, D&D Beyond as our character generator and our encounter generator. So, you know what? Thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
I know. Usually I leave that to Ed to just totally dog the shit out of WotC, because it's kind of his thing.
Ed's taking a nap, so.
Oh yeah, it feels like he's taking a nap here. I'm back in. I had to take dog out too.
Not enough for shenanigans. You gotta wait a little bit.
Alrighty, so we're going to start with introductions. Grenna, you want to take us away?
I'm Melinda. I play Grenna Babbleboot, a ranger, with her companion Bubbles, the ward.
I'm Mike. I'm playing Kiffy Blackhammer, Dwarven Cleric of Fortubo.
Hi, I'm Ed. I play Lord Ambassador Thomas Waverly.
Hello, I'm Pav. I play Kelix, Lord Protector of Bissell, a human paladin.
I'm Russ. I play Jarn. Damn it.
Hey guys, I'm real quick. I'm listening and everything like that, but I got a call coming in about my brother, so I'll be right back.
Roger that.
Understood.
I'm Glenn. I play Timble, Snivin Blavin.
High Chancellor Abyssal for the moment. And I'm also an artiste.
Okay, so the last time that we were all together, you all had tried to make your way north on the back of Erebistrex, the is she brass or bronze? Can't remember
Bronze.
anymore. Bronze dragon.
Brass.
I
Brass.
listened to you.
Bronze. Oh, sorry,
It's so
bronze. Sorry.
confusing.
Zinc or tin?
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Where's the yeah, right. So bronze dragon, Erebistrex, who was helping them trying to get to Prince Val of Celene, who had been captured by the forces of Zyph, who are working in league with the Empire of Ket, which invaded Bissell. Most of our characters here are from Bissell, and so they are fighting to free their homeland. And of course, they've dragged along a couple of other people. So just get everybody who's might be new to the stream or the podcast up to speed on what you guys are actually up to. But unfortunately, Erebistrex was brought down out of the sky by a dragon-slaying bolt shot from a ballista. She kind of crash landed, but spared you all at the last minute using the last of her energies before she almost perished. Once she landed, you were able to fight off the Ket which were in the area, and just before they were about ready to shoot another dragon-slaying bolt, your party had been able to dispatch those Ket soldiers and save the day. You were able to get her to a part where she could transform herself into human form so that it would be easier for her to be hidden from further attacks. And that is where we left off last time. You were standing in some fields. There was a farm not too far away, some farm buildings and things of that nature. And I believe the time was probably right around noonish or a little bit after noonish by the time that you got everything kind of squared away and got her back up on her feet. So here we are.
Define up or back on her feet.
She is being helped. She is ambulatory, but she is not what you would consider fit to fight, as we combat medics like to call it.
Kiffy, hit her.
Yep.
Oh well, the question is she fit to fuck though?
We're
Oh,
not going interspecies, Ed.
Why would he be any different from the other members of the party?
I'm poking my
Well,
eyes
she's
out.
on
What fit? What the other members are fit to what? Is that what you're saying?
well, for her, we're kind of like her own personal Chippendales calendar. The way we're up here like this.
Speak for yourself. I'm married.
Gail.
Okay.
Get us back on track, Kiffy.
So, yeah, a couple of things. Kiffy would like to cast greater restoration on her to like see if like she has ability score damage or anything like that.
Okay. So now remember, last time you guys had just got done with a fight, so you do not have all of your slots back yet. So remember to keep that in.
We're well aware of that. Trust me.
Yeah, I still have my stuff marked off. I
Good.
have not I haven't ticked any boxes for healing spells that I haven't cast, but
Okay.
I wanted to
Okay.
before we start actually casting healing
Okay.
to make sure I have 1 5th level slot left that I would like to cast greater restoration on her.
Okay. Before we get to that, did everybody level? Yes.
So 12. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good. I should have asked that. I should have asked that like as soon as I got in. So did everybody level? And I know most of you guys level like right after I tell you to do it. I know most of y'all, so I don't have to worry about too much of that. Okay, yeah. So you go ahead and do that, and I need you. Actually, Grenna, I need you to make a percentile roll for me. Also, let me know high or low.
Every time I do terrible with this. Last time I said hi, you were low. Oh, I'll just stick with low.
Okay.
Should have been high.
23. I said low.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. All right. Good. So yeah. So Kiffy, you were able to lay on hands, and it definitely you can see that the the wounds and things like she seems to be in much better much better shape than she was because like when she was on the ground bleeding out. That was I mean she was really close, but yeah you can actually see that she doesn't require someone to like hold on to her to like steady her. It actually seems that it worked very well. So but she's still as far as able to transform back into her regular dragon form. She just says that it may take a little bit of time for that to actually her to be able to do that again. It took a lot to just be able to transform into a human, so into her human form. So you got to kind of keep an eye on her while she's in this form. Now, she could probably right now fight, but she doesn't really have any weapons to be able to do that other than than her if somebody hands her a weapon or two or something like that.
I
She
give
might be
her
able
my other +2 warhammer.
Okay.
We also have 3 + 2 swords that are 2 + 2 swords that are hanging out.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever she thinks she can use the best.
Yeah, most likely she would probably be more of a sword user than a blunt weapon user. So yeah, she'll just take one of those +2 swords. Okay, very good. Alrighty, so what direction are you heading in? Right now, the way it's kind of looking, you are just a little bit north of True Light.
So I guess the question is, do we try to go forward or do we try to get back behind enemy lines on our side?
What? Go.
Yeah, I think crossing the actual line would be a bad idea.
Okay. What's our surroundings look like, Brian?
Right now, you are in more. It's more or less farmland. There are wide open spaces. You have fences. You have fields. It's dotted here and there with farmhouses.
Any wooded areas?
You don't really see a lot of woodland. There's not a lot of cover, so to speak, other than like I said, the buildings and
So I was just thinking like Indiana, where it's got a lot of fields, and then out in the middle of like the field, there's like a small forest. So
we all know that one.
Oh yeah.
No, you don't really have a lot. I mean, Abyssal being the size of it is, a lot of the countryside had been cleared specifically for crops and things like that. So you're looking that you are kind of out in the open at this point in time. You're the time of year that you're looking at is late fall, so it's getting a little bit colder, but then it's also being that a lot of the people who were here had to flee, so their fields if they were not burned or salted, they were just left, which means that you do have, of course, corn, fields of corn, which are very, very high, but they have not been harvested. So you can hide in cornfields and things of that nature if you needed to. But, and of course, you guys are like,
Why are you thinking about pulling the corn?
yeah, I'll use some weird kid standing at the end of it. Outlander, Outlander. Like, we have your woman. Oh boy.
I
Okay.
have no
I was more concerned with the fireball that Yarn would inevitably throw and the rain of popcorn.
especially if it's fermented a
No,
little bit.
no. With corn like that, I don't have to throw a fireball. Just a firebolt. It's what took out the hydras.
And all the NPCs we have with us.
So, what general direction were we flying towards when we entered combat, Brian?
Okay, so you were flying north. You were trying to get
True light.
Yeah, you were
Beyond True Light.
Yeah, you were beyond True Light at that point in time. So you got to think the front is between True Light and Chage. So that's a pretty fair distance that you would have to travel by foot. So it's kind of your all's call what you want to do. I mean, of course, traveling further north gets you closer to your objective, but it also leads to more possibility of some danger, especially once you get past Thornward. Because once you're past Thornward, it funnels into that very narrow passage that leads from Bissell to Ket, and it gets very, very tight in that passage. And it would probably be pretty. I mean, you guys, when you guys first went to Kodal Keep, you all traveled at night and tried to keep a low profile until you were able to save the Margrave. But
Well, we shot that one in the ass, didn't we?
Well, yeah. No, we're a success.
Like we ever think.
Okay, so what's
sorry,
gonna
go ahead.
what's gonna do us best? Continue north, hope we find some horses, or go back to the starting point, get better transportation, and then go. We've missed the window of opportunity that we were looking for.
So, and I'm sorry, Brian, what side of True Light we on? We're on the south side between Sage and True Light? Or
no,
north?
you're on the
Okay.
north side. You're actually well within enemy lines at this time.
Which is probably why we saw we ran across the scorpion or whatever the ballista that shot us.
The evil demon slaying arrow.
Yeah. Well, I guess. I'm thinking our griffins, right? Weren't they being used as like scouts on the mountain range east of Ket? Brian, do you remember?
Yeah, they were probably with Elven scout units that were penetrating like deep into Ket territory to either do sabotage or information gathering. Probably not more assassination. That was pretty much being left to your friend Vitram and his band of merry cutthroats. So
This doesn't do that kind of thing. What are you talking about?
What happens if I go to the brooch they gave us with the griffin and rub it and think about my griffin, Peter? So I'm rubbing my Peter.
Is it going to be one of those nights, Ed?
I think so.
At least he didn't say he was wearing his brooch on his codpiece or something like that. So I guess.
No, but you just did. Thank you.
So
Don't get ideas.
So with the idea with the griffins, I'm thinking if we can get a message. I mean, I don't know if Kippy has any sending messages spell slots available, he could send something to Celene, who can then contact the Griffins through another sending and let them know of our situation and Val. And I don't know if they can help with Val while we try to find a place to recover the dragon to get back in fit form.
He said there was a farmhouse right next to us.
Yeah.
Like
why
a
don't we
little.
check that
Yeah, I
out?
mean, we could go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're behind
I
enemy lines.
guess how far is it? How far is the farmhouse from the road?
You're looking. I mean, you can see kind of the tops of it over the tall grasses and corn stalks and stuff. So you're kind of thinking it's about maybe 2.5 miles away.
And were you gonna say your yarn? Sorry.
We're on a battlefield. It may have been a
Yep.
very small battlefield, but we're on a battlefield. People got away.
And there people are coming, sure.
There's going to be enemy cavalry here soon. Where's
Yep.
the first place they're going to check?
Nearby.
The farmhouse.
The tall grass.
So
Velociraptor.
So
Yeah,
it's a perfect idea. They'll come right to us, and we'll take them on.
did you miss the part where Kiffy's out of healing slots?
Well, I didn't miss that part. I'm thinking that's the only really defendable place, so we can actually get a good night's rest.
Yes, but we can unask this whole AO. Go back to Evastat or Pellic. Or Greyhawk if you really want to go that far. But
Oh, that's right. Yarn's got his spell.
Teleport.
Yeah.
actually going to Greyhawk and buying flying mounts.
Hey, Yarn. How long until you get one of those like special spells? Like, I don't know, what do they still have the time traveling one, or like lesser wish? How many levels?
A long time. I need
How
to
many
double. I would need to double about double my levels.
We could just go fuck off in Fairy, and then when you've leveled up a bit, come back to this point and really do it right.
I don't think that's how you level up, but okay.
Okay, so our options are go to the farmhouse and die, continue north and die, or
North
go
and die.
back, huh?
North and die.
North and die. How about we go to somewhere else, either Pellic, Evastat, or Greyhawk, get some flying mounts, and go flying, and continue back where we're going.
I didn't realize you had a teleport spell, Les, but yeah, that makes a very good point. I mean, I would vote for Instad because then we can see about getting a message to the Griffin Riders to see if they can help Val, since we're unable to at this point.
We could go to the Vespi.
Don't you have one of those little marble balls things left there,
I
Dimble?
believe so.
We could do that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's closer to where we want to be.
Or
Speaking of booty,
we could go into the Dro Underdark. We still have that one.
No.
You sure?
I'd rather go north.
let me hit you.
Wait.
Actually, the logic about going to the Drow Underdark means we'll get dropped into the first room, and that's probably the easiest room. We could rest there fighting off wandering monsters to get a long rest, and then we can come back out from there.
Is this like the Temple of Elemental Evil you're talking about?
Because plans always work well when the DM can hear you make them.
He can
All
hear
right,
us,
so-
and he understands.
So at this point, I vote Instad. Or Kellex would.
I don't think our resources are going to be there as good there as they would be in a bigger city, though.
In the Elvish Kingdom's capital.
Yeah, they're only going to have Elvish stuff. I mean, we want, if we go to Greyhawk, it's a more metropolitan city.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
that's right.
going to
the thing for the elves like Pav and Timble do.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
hey,
like getting
hey,
New York
Kiffy.
sliced pizza in Richmond.
Okay, all right, all right.
Hey,
all right.
Kiffy, you got any chance that you think your family would welcome some visitors? No, I'm just joking.
I'm sure they would, but they probably don't have as much stuff there as there would be at Greyhawk.
Yeah, I think Greyhawk would probably be the better one because that's where all the magical and stuff are.
Brian,
Yeah.
that brings up a good point. We saw Kiffy's forces or his kinsmen at one
Yes.
point. How
Yes.
far away were they?
Okay, they were on their way to Chage. They were actually almost there when you guys
South.
passed over them. So they're further to the south.
Okay.
Okay. Perception checks
All
all
right.
around.
Ah, we talked too long. Billy talked for 2 minutes.
There's a shock.
The north-south roads are probably heavily used by the military right now, funneling forces and all that rot.
Okay.
Some of the lesser known paths, might we be able to find a good spot to lay an ambush to get us some mounts? And
I think our opportunity to get mounts just showed up.
Maybe.
Okay. So,
Well, at least rations.
okay. So everybody but Tomas.
He's rubbing his brooch too hard.
Yeah. He's got it like right over one of his. Yeah. Okay. So you hear like a very, very strange trumpeting sound. It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound man-made or anything that you've ever really heard before, but I need everybody who made it to make a nature check.
Why don't you just say everybody but Tomas? Because it's not a real instrument. It's not music. I don't
Right.
believe in the whole music and nature thing, so I'm ignoring it.
Okay.
My
Okay.
first act would be to stealth.
Okay. So, all right, very good. So, Grenna and Kiffy, you immediately you've heard this sound before. Kiffy, you had seen some of these creatures in some of the mountainous areas that you had, and at one point in time, you knew that giants kind of use them to move material and things around and stuff like that. And Grenna, you've heard the sounds, but you've never actually seen one up close. But you do know that the Ket and their Xife allies sometimes employ war elephants to be used on on battlefields. Okay, but usually when you hear this sort of trumpeting sound, you're kind of thinking that it's calling out to another, but there is no other sound, no reply from another war elephant. And it sounds like it's coming directly from just a little bit of the north of you. Yes.
What was Aravistarak's reaction?
She also was able to. She understood what they were because there's been some time in her past that she's actually eaten them. So, so she's like, oh, I know exactly what that is.
She needs some protein.
Is it continuing to go, Brian?
No, it just does one long trumpeting sound and then but you don't, it's not like it's not like you feel the ground shaking or anything from its footfalls. All you heard was the sound. All you heard was the sound, and then it stopped.
Can we imitate the sound?
I can. I could do a performance check. I could go.
I have.
Jarn, how long will it take you to cast the teleport spell?
1 minute.
All right.
Casting.
Is there any cover around here?
Not
Doesn't
really.
matter. Doesn't matter. We'll be out of here. We'll be out
Yeah,
of
we
here.
need to go. Tim.
Corn stalks.
Where am I going?
Well, I didn't do so well of a performance, so I either went meow or I said, "Hey, baby, let's get it on," and imitated a war elephant in heat. So you can.
I got it up. It looks like a Stargate. Go. Go.
All right.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Before we
Hold
do
on.
that, Grenna, I need you to make another percentile roll, please.
Damn it.
Let me. I'll stick with low. Damn.
Damn.
And on this day, the 21st of November, they fell to elephants.
No, no. The portal opens up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so everybody piles in.
I'm grabbing
We don't know any better, so.
Okay,
I'm
and so
grabbing
and
So
so
we have to go through all at once, like in Star Trek, where we all jump through the portal, or does it take longer?
it's more like sliders.
Oh, such a cool thing.
Okay, so where were you going?
Greyhawk.
Okay, cool.
So we're at Bud Greyhawk now.
So I have a question. You can. There's only 3 places that you could have went, correct? Greyhawk,
Right.
Celene, or Pellic, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. That's easy. Alrighty, so we are going to randomize the shit out of this and see what actually where you end up. Okay, so 1 and a 2 is Pellic, 3 and a 4 is Instead, 5 and a 6 is Greyhawk. So you were heading to Greyhawk. Let's see if that actually happens. No, Pellic it is.
What the hell? Did I notice anything wrong with the magic?
Nope.
I think I'll
I
carry
just knew
Princess.
that was going to
That's
run
the
us right into Faye.
I thought others were going too. Especially when I make it elephant sounds and pay elephants. That'd be funny.
Now, if Jarn had the ability to actually teleport you to a place within the Feywild, that would have been an added possibility. But notice, like they can only certain things could be modified to what he knows. I mean, there's still laws to the universe here. So,
Yeah, but there's always that random chance.
right.
Well,
Well,
nothing but random.
usually not, but you guys have I mean, there's circumstances that you all know all too well.
I don't think Mab is above entering his dreams and giving him the location to the dungeon in her castle. Okay, Mab has no boundaries, and that's
Okay.
I wanted to see Toby on a war elephant.
Well, wouldn't that have been cool?
no.
No.
Damn.
That wouldn't have been cool.
And the monorail strapped to it.
And then everybody making Toby making compensation jokes about Toby. So
Okay.
Yeah, well, knowing him, he wouldn't have tied it on the back.
So
I guess we kind of came out of this portal and realized, Jarn, is this where we were going?
yeah,
It is now.
so actually you appear in the courtyard in Pellic. As you're kind of looking around going,
What
Wait
the
a minute.
hell?
exactly. But at least you're out of the cornfield.
That's right.
That's a good thing. It wasn't exactly where you wanted to be, but at least you're not in a cornfield.
I kind of wanted to see the elephant.
Screw it. I'm going to
You
bed.
know,
I kind of wanted a turkey sandwich.
Let's try this again.
Okay, so yeah, it's like somebody wanted to see the elephant and somebody wanted to go to Talon and Turkey.
All right, guys, let me try this
Turkey and
again.
Talon. Okay.
I mean, we're in Pellic.
Yep.
We can take our rest here and try and get a message to
The
the
Griffin.
Griffin Corps. The Griffin Corps Kellic, you can use your contacts with the temple. See if they can do it since Kiffy is forward to combat.
Well, I guess that's the problem. Is I don't know what I haven't checked on the temple in a while. I don't know who how it's manned. So,
Well,
I can go check.
yeah.
Okay.
And Kiffy, go to sleep.
So as you all are sitting around talking about exactly what you're going to do, Grenna, someone kind of just apparates literally right behind you, places a dagger to your throat, and whispers in your ear, "Move, and you will breathe no more." But the only problem is, you recognize the voice.
Do any of us?
Rest of you immediately see this black-clad figure, almost just a little bit shorter than Grenna, is holding this, this dagger to, just right across her throat. All you can see is their eyes. They're dressed completely in black.
Well, this is fun.
And then you just see you see this person just, they're just holding very, very still. You did not hear them approach. You did not see them. They just, literally just came up behind you. And at that time, you hear another voice coming from across the courtyard. Another voice, Grenna, that you recognize very, very well. And it is the voice of your mother yelling out, "Regis, stop playing around." And as you do, you see that the blade comes away, and you see that there are these two similarly black-clad figures, gnomes, that are standing. One is standing right behind Grenna, and the other one is a little bit further off, and she's literally running over to you all. Of course, you can't see who they are, but in just a few moments, they take their hoods off, and you see that it is Regis and Gita Babbleboots. And they got the biggest smiles on their faces.
You got to name them Kathy Lee. Regis and Kathy Lee.
And so as soon as they, of course, they make them, they immediately rush over and give you a hug and stuff like that, and ask you, how you're doing. And you see Regis reach back into a pack, and he actually takes out this bag of holding. And as he does so, he dumps it on the ground in front of you, Kellic. And it is the head of a Ket nobleman. And you're kind of like, oh, shit.
Oh, I never met Regis, did I?
Huh?
I don't think I ever met Regis. It was only Timble and Grenna, right?
No, you've met the Babbleboots, because remember when you were heading to...
Stayed at their home and had to...
Yeah, you were at their home. You were at their...
That was her uncle. Sorry, yep, okay.
Yeah, that was at their home in Rabakel, as you were heading to Marydale.
Okay, sorry, I was thinking it was the uncle. Sorry.
Not farmers.
Yeah. So I guess that's something you could probably ask them about.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little stunned. I'm thinking, Grenna? Parents?
I thought farmers, and I thought I was a gnome. What did you expect at this point?
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Before she spoke out,
yeah,
I had rolled my
your
stealth.
Okay, good.
I rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
So when they start being all familial and all that stuff, I don't know. Yep, exactly how I thought it was going to go. What's in a pack? What's in Regis's bag?
What's in the box? What's in the box? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's the head of obviously a Ket nobleman. And when he says the name, you immediately remember Kellic. You're meeting with Ela Alzar, Princess of Ket and realize that this is I have to try to remember all their names, but this was I believe her fiance.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, that won't be missed.
Wow. Oh, he's a little stunned because he's still thinking. I thought they were just normal gnome parents, and they're bringing me ahead of
Yeah.
Bissell thanks you. I guess our Keddish princes will be a little happier.
We hope.
Kind of look
Probably.
at Thimble.
Maybe. But yeah, so and just as this little reunion is going on, you see another a figure that that both Grenna and Timble has met before, and you see a Vitram Harefoot striding across the courtyard towards you all, and said, "Ah, my friends, I see that our work has paid off a little bit. Trust me, this is not the only head that I have for you. I have many more."
Wow.
So he kind of walks up and he just claps the Mr. and Mrs. Babble Boots on the back, and he's like, "Yes, my friends here have been quite busy."
And this is the gnome I haven't met yet. This is the only one that.
You've never met Vitram, but he's not a gnome.
And
He's
he's
a
not a gnome, halfling. He
He's
is
a
right.
halfling.
And you are
I
good
am
halfling. Your name?
Vitram Harefoot, at your service.
Oh, good.
We are all at your service.
Well, thank you. I know Bissell much appreciates what you have done here. He kind of looks at Timble and Tomas and say, "You guys want to?" I'm sure you probably want to. Obviously, the parent, Grenna wants to have a little reunion with her family. He just looks a little stunned by all this. Still, like he wasn't expecting it, right? These nice country gnomes living a farming life, and no killers.
They're actually they're assassins.
No, no. The way that they appeared and all this, I just have in my head from Willow. Mumbo, jumbo, eat some eggs.
Yeah, so yeah, from your viewpoint, they kind of just look like very small ninjas. So that's really about the best way to put it. But yeah,
But
I mean,
I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm getting like Grenna, and Timmo, maybe Tomas handle it. Kellex needs to make sure he gets his message out as fast as he can to Celene so they can, hopefully intercede and save Val before he gets too far.
okay, very good. So how are you doing that?
Well, when I was there last, obviously I had some kind of reports on the state of the temple.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was actually there was another elven cleric, but she wasn't a follower of Heronius. I think
Right, she was the priestess of Pelor here in Pelec. Yeah,
So
you remember.
I may go talk to her and see if maybe she can send a sending message to Celene and relay what that we're unfortunately unable to get to Val, and see if they can use their Griffin riders to help.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Sounds.
If not, they can maybe scout after we rest up and we get there. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Whatever we decide.
Exactly. All right, that sounds totally fine. Let's see if I can find some.
I just put it in the chat. Is that the canon on what the Babel boots look like? I just put it in the Princess of Celene chat.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't look at it until later. So alrighty. So let me see if I can find some interesting stuff for you. Alrighty. Well, let's see. Well, that's a bummer. I'm trying to find some interesting things for you guys, but that's not cool. Oh well, whatever. Alrighty. So with that in mind, alrighty. So Kellex, you start to make your way down to the Temple of Heronius. Is that where you were heading, or were you going to the one in Peleg, or the one for Pelor?
Pelor. I'm assuming she'll be in the one in Pelor, so that'll be my first stop.
Okay. Alrighty. So yes, once you actually get there, you can see that they are just. She's actually finishing up a service. So you just kind of wait in the I guess the narthex part of the temple itself, and wait for her to approach you as she's greeting parishioners. Yes.
Oh no, I was narthex.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to come up with like so well is it okay the sanctuary's over there, the narthex is over there. Yeah, it's just me being weird. For those people who might need to know what that is, you can Google it. So alrighty. So yeah, so as the parishioners are leaving and stuff like that, she of course makes eye contact with you, and once she's finished, she walks up and says, Lord Protector, it is so good to see you again. How can I be of service to you?
I'm needing to get a message sent quickly to Celene in regards to I want to say failed mission, but we were heading north to save Prince Val. Unfortunately, our dragon unfortunately was injured, and we had to return to Peleg. I'm not sure if you're able to cast such a spell.
I can help. Yes, that's no problem at all. What would you? Yes, I'll be happy to do that right now. Do you want to step into my office?
Yep, that would be fine.
Wonderful. And so she just she escorts you to her office in the rear of the temple itself, and she says, "All right," and she goes ahead and casts the spell.
So in 25 words or less.
Who are you sending this to?
I'm gonna send it to I think the aunt. What's her name? I can't think of what Auntie. Help me, guys. Oh, not Yolanda. Chira.
Okay,
Might be the best course.
Okay, so that's the grandmother. I was kind of
Oh,
wondering.
the grandmother. I know I say. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
that's fine. Okay, so yes.
Goodness. Yep. Send the message to her.
Okay.
25 words or less. Kellex. I'll just say from Kellex. Dragon injured. Return to Peleg. Griffin riders need to assist Val or provide or gather information. How many more words I got left?
You're at 14.
It's got 11 more.
Please respond with decision or something like that. I'm just tell them what they're going to end up doing, or if they have done it, or something like that.
Please advise actions.
Please advise actions. Yeah.
There you go. Please advise actions.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. So just within just a few moments, you get a reply. It says, Shira, Kellex, Griffin riders dispatched to your location. um, stay, stay there. We'll advise. We'll send more orders. I will sending directly to you.
Okay, so the
So that's what.
Griffins are coming directly to us. Okay,
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, they're coming to you. So because weren't really able to tell her exactly kind of where Val was, so she figured this was like the best thing to do.
Yeah, at this point, we don't know how far they've gotten. So
Right, exactly. Okay,
okay.
so cool. Alrighty, so yeah, the priestess says, if there's anything else I can do, please just let me know. Have you had a chance to go to the Temple of Heronius yet?
I have not yet, unfortunately. My duties do keep me busy.
Oh, then you have not met the new priest that has been sent from Greyhawk.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
I guess where is the temple in relation to the main castle? I mean, is it something I can stop on the way there?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you could actually. It's just a little bit further away than the one for Pelor.
Mhm.
Probably about another 2 blocks, and you would be right there. So
Okay.
okay.
I, I thank you. I appreciate you've been very helpful. And he bows and heads back out.
All right. So you're going to go ahead and make your way over to the Temple of Heronius.
Yeah, if I'll make a quick stop.
Okay, cool. So as you approach, you can see
Real
that.
quick,
Mhm.
is it just Pop going to the temple, or is we going? Are we going as a group?
Whoever wanted to come with me.
Yeah, I think whoever wanted to go with.
Well, wouldn't this be a time to take the dragon with us and maybe get some extra healing on top of, and at least provide a safe place for her to rest within the temple?
Yeah, but you could
Could be the
also.
temple or the castle.
Yeah, whichever you decide, I suppose. It's up to you guys.
Okay.
I'd say we take her there. That leaves the brunt off of Kiffy, so Kiffy can recharge. We can all get readied up again in case we got to go, and go from that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I just didn't know how many of you all were going. Didn't
Yeah, I
really.
did kind of rush off quickly.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the rest of you were either hanging out with the Babel Boots and Grenna, or I know Kippy
Going to the
was.
tower. Going to the tower.
Okay.
I'm gonna from
So here's Brian thinking we're all hanging out here. No, we all went.
Yeah. Everybody just went in totally opposite directions.
Classic.
And meanwhile, in the courtyard, Kiffy's coiled up in a bundle with his blanket pulled on him asleep, and he's like, "Got to get a good night's sleep. Got to get a good night's sleep."
Oh no, Kiffy's got a suite, man.
Oh well, shit.
In there.
That's right. I mean, you guys have places. You have your own little areas, so that's really good. Okay.
So we've created bastions like in 5th edition.
Okay. So are you going to leave Eravistarax with the priestess of Pelor, or are you taking her with you to the Temple of Heronius?
I'll take her to the temple. I mean,
Which one
to
does
her.
she prefer? Which one does she prefer?
As a Pelor, as a bronze dragon, she may prefer Pelor, right? Because he's like a fiery kind of god, isn't he? Or am I confusing?
He's blazing light. He's blazing light.
Yeah, he is blazing
Okay.
light. So I mean, if you want to leave her there to convalesce, that's fine. And then continue on to the Temple of Heronius. That's completely up to you. But who is anyone staying with her, or are you just dropping her off? Okay,
I'll stay with her.
Okay, so you'll stay with her. Very good.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
I think with the Temple of Heronius still probably in construction, it's probably not a.
I would be happy if she came with us because I know that we're going to find a nice warm seat, a meal, and some meat. That's how I'm going to talk with Master Vitram.
Okay. So let's I gotta figure out everybody's what they're doing. Okay, so Kellex, I'm gonna take care of you. Then I'm gonna work with Jarn in his tower. Then we're gonna go to temple. Then I'm going to hit Kiffy's real quick because I got some cool stuff for Kiffy today, and and then we'll all convene back, and everybody can hear the Babel Boots story. Okay, so Calyx, you take that 2 block walk over to the Temple of Heronius. And as you can see, that the scaffolding is around the building, repairs have been made. And as you were standing there, kind of as you're approaching, you can see that there are workmen diligently doing their utmost to repair the front structure. You can see that there's portions of the roof that have already been rebeamed. So that's really impressive.
Going along.
And all the while, as you're walking, you see this this young man standing there, dressed in his vestments, sort of directing these workmen. And you can overhear that he is not, he's not a cruel taskmaster in no way, shape, or form, but he is definitely guiding them. And it sounds as though he knows a little bit about what he is talking about. He actually knows some masonry. So it's kind of interesting. Maybe that was his, before he received his calling to, take up the mantle, that he was a stone cutter or maybe a mason. So as you kind of,
As I approach, I see kind of what maybe his vestments, what kind of rank or title he may have in the.
Yeah, he is what you would consider just a priest. He's not a bishop or anything. Obviously he is one of the replacements. Because if you remember, actually the entire staff of this temple was completely killed. Yeah, was murdered. But so he doesn't see you approach. He's actually talking to, and so you just. But as soon as the workman who is watching you walk by, this man's eyes get huge, and he is like, and the priest says, "What's the problem? Are you having a fit?" And the man just kind of points at you as the priest spins around, and both of them immediately, go into a bow and say,
Rise,
"Your lordship."
No need for ceremony, please.
So they stand up. Everybody else has stopped work as they are focusing on you, and you see the mason just kind of the workman just kind of whispers into the priest's ear and says, "Lord Protector, this is Lord Calyx." And he's like, I kind of figured it out. I could see his rank. And so they stand back up and said, "Lord Protector, it is so nice to finally get a chance to meet you. I've heard so much about you. I'm Tanner Berwick. I'm the replacement priest."
I was told they had sent a replacement, and I just thought I would stop by you before I head back to the castle. How go? It looks like things are going well here.
Yes, I believe so. As you can see, it looks as though everything is in good shape and order.
See, Calyx kind of gets a kind of a thought to any issues with in the below the bottom portions of the temple. I'm only asking because after the attack, there was some items were taken. I'm sure you were made aware of that. And there was a feeling, a sense of sort of evil that had been, a presence that had been there.
Yes, we did have to do some extensive cleansing, spiritual, to rid the grounds of that darkness. Many of us had never seen that type of of darkness before, so we were kind of surprised when we arrived. But
Any idea of a source? I don't know if that is something you're capable of.
all I know that it was just very archaic, necromantic in nature. It's just extremely terrible magic. It was pretty bad.
Well, I'm happy that you were able to cleanse it of its of that presence, that feeling. But I don't want to keep you. I know you guys you're all very busy here. I just wanted to come and see you, introduce myself. But I must get back to the castle quickly.
Of course, please. The next time you're free, we would love to have you come and worship with us. That would be magnificent.
Definitely, most definitely.
And so he once again bows to
back
showing.
Bow, 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 bow.
Bow, bow.
All right, and I head back to the castle.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
Who's next?
That is going to be Jarn, I believe, if I remember right.
What do we do?
Let's see. Okay. Okay, so Jarn, you are heading over to the tower? Your tower? Okay. So again, you also see scaffolding around, but it looks as though they have almost completely finished putting the roof back on. The stairs have been completely cleared. You do see some workmen coming and going. They, of course, as they pass by, tip their hat to you, and in respect for your station. So once you get back up, you can see that everything that was broken has been replaced. The chairs, the workbenches, the beam work over the head has been completely redone. And you can see that they tried to use some care in preserving the floor, where it had been used by Antero in the past. With the runes and markings that he had left there for his magic teleportation circle, and they've really spent a lot of time. You can actually see, but right now you're standing sort of in the middle of your tower.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go through the motions of that teleportation spell and figure out what the hell happened.
Okay. So yeah, you are thinking about it and putting it all together, and you're thinking everything should have worked. I mean, your mind was in the right place. You were thinking this is where we're going, and the more you think about it, the more it kind of stresses you, because you're thinking this should not have occurred. There's really no reason for it to have failed. So you're thinking it really had nothing to do with your abilities or your knowledge or your grasp of the arcane. And you're thinking that it was definitely something outside of you that had tampered with your abilities.
What we suspected, but now I have a more firm grasp on it. Okay. And I'm just
or it could have just been performance issues.
No, I don't have your
Performance issues. Oh my gosh.
It happens to all wizards, right? At some point.
Yeah,
all wizards.
I was thinking bards, because they're performing all the time.
So we're well versed.
Nice.
At failure? Of course.
Oh my gosh. That is too funny. Okay. So with that in mind, Yeah, so you went through all of it, and as you were going through all of your, as you're really kind of just recreating what you
Mhm.
had done, you start to notice something just really interesting that you've never really seen happen before. As you're going through the incantation and you have your book out and you're going through, as it's doing so, you can see that these glowing runes are being etched into these new beams. It's
Oh,
like the
cool.
entire room is just lighting up with this arcane energy which is flowing through you. And you're like,
Cool.
oh my gosh, this is insane. But before you completely finish it,
Mhm.
you pull back, but the runes remain.
Hmm.
The ceiling is now completely covered with these beautiful glowing blue and white runes, and it's just magnificent. The floor is also lit up, but just because you did not say that last little bit of the incantation, it does not open the portal, but everything
Okay.
remains.
And I
Almost
don't lose
kind
the spell slot.
almost yeah, you didn't waste a spell slot on it, but you realize that what you've done is you've made this tower your own.
Oh, cool.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he tells us this story, I'll be like, "Oh, and your wife, Morgan Fairchild. Yeah, yeah, that's the ticket."
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
very cool.
Okay. Neat. Is there anything else you wanted to do up here while you're in your room?
No, not really. I mean, there's. I'm
Okay.
sure I'll be back here later tonight to go to sleep.
Probably. Yeah. You have quarters here. I mean, everything that you would possibly need
Mhm.
is there. So that's nice.
And I really don't have time to do anything magical other than cast a spell. So I'll head back down to the Babel Boots convocation.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. So let's go with Timble. So Timble, you are addressing Vitram.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I just would like to get the an understanding and a view of how things are going on his front of the war.
Okay. He sees you approach and he's like, uh, hi, Chancellor. Welcome back. It's so nice to see you. I see.
Temple, Temple, please. It's Temple.
Of course, Timble. Right. So, we've been
Hold
quite
on a
busy.
second.
Yes.
Something happened outside.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we'll pivot. Hopefully everything is okay. Okay, yeah, so we'll just pivot really quickly and we'll go to Kiffy. Okay, so Kiffy, I guess you were going to walk in to the castle and go to your quarters and sack out,
Yeah, well, yeah.
or were
First,
you thinking about
course,
doing something else?
well, that's the general idea. Of course, before I sack out, will do my usual rituals and praise and thank Fortuvo for delivering us from all that shit that happened yesterday or today. And then yeah, the plan is to sack out.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, as you walk in, you're heading over to your quarters to go through your prayers and get ready. When you hear your name being called from down the hallway, and out from one of these, out from the corner steps a dwarven woman with long red braided hair. She's wearing plate armor, and you do not recognize her. But
You didn't tell us about your wife,
she
Kitty.
seems to know you. And she walks up, puts a hand out, and says, "Ah, uh, Lord Blackhammer, it is so wonderful to finally get a chance to meet you. I have heard so much about you. I'm sorry. Uh, my name is Saphira, and I am not of your clan, but you're from what we have been told, you are the wielder of the literally the hammer of Fortubo himself. That's amazing.
Greetings, sister. Yes, that it would seem to be the case. Yes.
She's like, oh, I can't wait to return home to let my my people know that I have met the Black Hammer that wields such that a holy weapon. Oh, oh. She says, I'm sorry. You look like you've been through a lot. I don't. I'm sorry if I. But if you would, when you feel up to it, I would love to buy you a round of dwarven ale, if possible.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way that I would ever pass up ale.
So she says, "Thank you. That is wonderful." And as she turns, you see that she has a cloak, a cape around her. It's a cloak. It has a hood, and you see that it is actually the markings on the cape itself are that of the royal family of the Lort Mill, the clan of the ruling house, which your family is distantly related to, but obviously she is of some stature within her clan.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you have met Saphira. Um, what's her last name? Saphira Ruby Hart. Yep. Yes.
Point of canonical order.
Yep.
Therefore, we established that she's into BBH, Big Black Hammers.
Oh God. Jeez.
And you're on permanent mute.
Okay. All righty. So there we are.
Well, everybody else has had a love interest. It's about time it was you.
Well, doesn't mean that it's a love interest, but
Okay.
I don't think Grenna has one.
Nope.
She just has
Bubbles.
Bubbles
She
is
just
ready
says
to rip
Bubbles.
her throat out for her if she goes too crazy.
Okay.
It just didn't work, though. I was going to say she was into Big Black Cudgels.
Cannot lie.
What happened to permanent mute?
And black cudgels that cannot lie. Some other boys can't deny. When guys walk in with a little bit of grin, I get slammed.
God. Oh,
that was
wow.
pretty good.
That was,
I have to admit, that
was pretty scary. I don't know what to say. All righty. Well, that was just beautiful. Oh my God.
Brian's just taking notes. Cut out minute 33:46 through 42:78. We got some technical difficulties.
That's right. Just some technical difficulties, nothing extreme.
You should
I'm
see my
just
kindergarten show.
Yeah. All right, cool. No, I was just making sure that I don't forget any of these names that I've had to come up with this evening. Being that I was not prepared for you guys to go to Pelic at all.
Where were you expecting us to go?
Not
Greyhawk,
there.
but your shitty spell fucking failed.
All I gotta say, it could have been worse.
As a gift to the Dryad.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you know,
All
I
right.
still have that.
So, okay, good. So, Kippy, was there anything else you wanted to do other than what you
Nope,
were?
I really need a nap.
Okay, cool. Okay, so down to Timble. Timble is okay. So, Timble, you are chatting with Vitram, and
I'd
so
actually like to take him to someplace we're more comfortable with, a
oh,
pub to talk.
okay. You can
Got
go in,
time
you
for some food.
okay. You can go to a castle. You could go to a tavern. Where was it that you were thinking?
What's nearby?
The castle's right there. I mean, you could easily just take up one of the little conference rooms or little meeting rooms off the side of the throne room itself.
That sounds good, and they can bring us food and ale. That'd be wonderful.
Okay.
Uh,
So
Find
as you all
something
walk in, you quickly pass Sylvia, who stops really quickly and says, "Oh, you're back so soon. Do you have Val?"
No, we ran into
Oh,
some trouble. Aravistrax was gravely wounded. Um, we had to get out quickly, and we're
oh.
working on how to handle that as we speak.
Of course, is Kellix
Yeah,
with
they
you?
are in the courtyard. I think check the churches. You know how they are, and
Okay.
yeah,
Well, he claps you on the shoulder and says, "It's good to see you back. I'm glad that you're well." And he continues on. So you and Vitram end up going into one of these little side meeting rooms. Just a small room, probably comfortably it would be able to fit four people. There's a small table, and you sit down across from him, and he says, "Well, here we
how's
are.
it been going?
Well, we've been quite busy. Um, I hope that what we can. I do have the list that we did agree upon. We
Uh-huh.
have pared down a significant amount of the nobles.
Is Gian passing funds appropriately?
Yes, yes. Zan has been extremely helpful when it comes to making sure that we are compensated properly. So I was kind of surprised to catch you here. I did not realize you were in town. My spies had said that you had to uh, had to fly, so to speak. Um, and I'm sorry to hear that you were unable to catch up to Prince.
Yeah, it's going to get interesting, which is one of the things that I'd like to know. How well placed are our people? Because we need to know where they have taken him.
Hmm, yes. We do have people inside the cat court at this time. I have at least two that I can rely upon. We should have someone in the court of in Zeif within the week. It's a little bit further for them to travel, but we do
Yeah, but
have that ability.
we need to cover that base.
Of course, of course. I'm just waiting for word back once that person arrives and takes up their post. So
Wonderful.
yes, yes, it's been quite good. I know that our armies have been pushing back, which is wonderful. Of course, now
Yeah,
that the
it seems
dragon,
that the push is working.
yes, yes.
But
Uh, yeah, well, now that the dragon is no longer setting everything on fire, that's kind of helpful to us. Yes.
oh, certainly. Um, yeah, she's actually quite sweet, but was forced. Her hand was forced.
Hmm.
Sweet.
Well, um, everything's going well for you then? Anything else that we might be able to do? I know that we're not here often. I've been wondering about how things were going in your side of the house.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, Sylvia has been kind of a hands off when it comes to what we're doing. Um, I do feel that it will be good when they finally do find a permanent solution to the ruling issue here. So,
Yeah.
Not it.
Well,
Not it.
yeah.
I have this idea.
There
There's
always
a gnome who would be a perfect king.
there's always this thing that I mean, you being here and being used to handling things, would you care to be chancellor?
it's
That's exactly how I feel.
no, I understand that it is people like
Yeah.
us. We're not really cut out for this.
Yeah.
This is too confining. It
Oh my God. You have no idea. The shackles.
He reaches into his jacket and he pulls out a flask and he spins the top of it off and he hands it over to you.
Oh, I don't mind if I do.
So yeah,
And it's acid, you dummy! It's fucking acid.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah, no, and it does have a little bit of a kick to it. It's definitely it's a whiskey, and but it's very good. And you hand it back to him, and he takes a shot as well, and he just puts it down on the table between you, and says so. I've been hearing that they are talking about having a nobles meeting as soon as they can free True Light from the Ket hands. You may not know this, but Sir Timothy Truelight has been leading a guerrilla band to the north.
What a wonderful
And
name. Wonderful.
being that he is of a royal line here, that they have come. Many have been talking that Sir Timothy will end up probably being named the new Margrave. So,
I like the young man. I see no problem with that.
yeah, Sir Timothy is I mean, every time that we've ever dealt with him, he's been extremely fair with us. And I know that would lift a lot of the burden off
And
of your
since,
shoulders.
Yeah. Since there is talk of it, we
Mhm.
probably should have get some people around him to protect him.
Well, I know that I was about ready to send the Babel Boots north to join his band, so that from what we have been told, his numbers are close to about 30 soldiers, and he is doing hit and run on supply lines and things of that nature. But we're going to put the Babel Boots in with him to see if they
Wonderful.
can ply
Make
their
it a
wares.
priority. His protection a priority. There are too many houses will seek to take advantage.
Oh,
at
of
this
course.
point.
Yeah.
And I think he would be a wonderful Margrave. Could be wrong. What do I know about these things?
Right. I mean,
I
you've only met him once, but he seemed like he was a very, very a very fair dealing sort of person. The way he was running True Light, and even with the situation that occurred there with the monorail, so to speak, and yeah, I mean, he did keep it together and was able to get all of the civilians out of True Light before it fell. So
Wonderful.
that right there is a biggie.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Okay, that's certainly food for thought, and yeah, that would be quite helpful and free us up to do other things. I mean, clearly we're better used in the far, far fields of this conflict than sitting behind a picket, if you will.
Of course.
We haven't really been doing that either.
So, is there anything else that you have on your mind as he takes the flask and hands it back over to you?
No, not really. That I'm just happy to see that everything is going well on this end,
Yes.
and you have no problems. That was foremost in my mind.
Yeah.
And if there was any issues, I was ready to straighten them out and grease
Well,
the wheels and do what I could.
yes,
But if everything's going well,
it seems that the tide has turned in the favor of Bissell. So I feel quite good in being able to say that. So
it's odd. Now we've been in so much trouble, especially us. And every time somebody says, something's going well, you just start waiting for that other shoe to drop. That's how I'm feeling. But, good is good.
yeah. Okay. All righty. So, with that in mind, I think we are back to, I think it's Sir Tomas, Lord Tomas, sorry.
No, you had it right the first time.
I had it right?
And-
Okay, cool.
And you can just call me your lordship, but that's okay.
Okay.
Ridiculous? What?
So Tomas, you have stayed behind at the Temple of Pelor with Erebisterax. A couple of priests have came in and have applied healing magics, and as they do so, you can see that Erebisterax is looking much better. She seemed her color has returned. The amber color that her eyes are now vibrant once again, and she is actually setting up, no longer just lying down. And the priestess there says, "Well, Lord Tomas, I believe this is about as much as we can do for her." And she looks over at Erebisterax and says, "My lady, are you feeling yourself?" And the Erebisterax says, "I believe I am. I believe I'll be able. I think I'll be quite all right." And she just, Erebisterax looks over at you, Tomas, and said, "Tomas, thank you so much for watching over me and making sure that second bolt that was meant for me was no longer a threat. Thank you."
We've both had our differences, but I owe it to our children, possibly my child and your future child. I feel responsible for to get you home.
Thank you. So she stands up and says, "Well, I think I think probably one more day, and then I should be able to return to my normal form."
I have a suite or room. Is it a suite or a room? How are they laid out?
It's rooms. Yeah.
I have a room that I'm happy to stand guard while you convalesce.
Oh, I don't think you would need to do that. This place looks quite formidable. But I would like it that if your room was nearer, it would be good.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll take her there, and I'll grab a chair and sit outside.
Okay.
I'm used to camp. I'm used to camp sleeping. I can sleep against the door.
Yes, down the hallway you can hear the sound of dwarven snoring. As
Well, if the DM chooses to throw a random encounter in the night, I am finally ready. So,
okay. So, but I guess like how many people were going to hear the Grenna Babble Boots? I know Kiffy wanted to pass out, so he would probably end up catching this secondhand. But I guess the rest of you are in one of the meeting rooms inside the castle as um, Regis and Gita Babble Boots as they walk in with you all. Everybody takes a seat, and you can start to see that they start unburdening themselves of all the different weapons that they have, and they're just like putting them on the table. There's like 8 or 9 daggers. There's just poison darts. I mean, there's just all types of just crazy shit that they have on them. Vials of poison, healing potions, everything that you would need in the field to just. And so they sit there and go, so, and they both look. Huh?
I think you missed one.
What was it? Yeah. Oh, pulls out a dagger from a boot. Yeah, put it there. Yeah. Said yeah. All the while, standing off in the corner is Vitram Harefoot, just like with this big smile on his face. And so Gita Babbleboots looks over at you, Grenna, and says,
Farmers, huh?
So I guess we have some explaining to do.
A little bit.
Okay. So
To think, I thought we had a normal childhood.
yeah, so Grenna, we hate to break it to you, and you can see that both Regis and Gita are sitting there just looking at you with like these big old gnomish eyes, and we're sorry that we misled you. And I kind of we figure by now that you may know that you're not actually our child.
Kind of figured that out.
Okay. Yeah. All the while, Vitram is standing over there just like, he's like, like he's loving this. And said,
Guess he's not really my uncle either, huh?
Yeah. So before we were farmers,
genetically impossible.
I know that.
Okay.
So before we were farmers, we worked with Vitram. In that same circle of friends, so to speak, we were we took care of problems. You understand? Like,
yeah.
Took care of problems. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. See. Yeah. They just kind of look at you. See, we raised a smart girl. She knows. And said, yeah. So when Vitram brought you to us and asked us to hide you and to treat you as our own, we of course couldn't say no. I mean, right?
That's where all the bodies are buried.
Yeah. So we raised you as our own, and you took on our form, and that's why you look like a gnome, or you used to look like a gnome. You kind of went through some changes.
You.
And so yeah, Regis looks over at Vitram and says, "Do you want to explain where she comes from?" And Vitram says, "Oh, I thought you would never ask. I couldn't wait to tell this story." And so he walks over and takes a seat next to
my own origin story.
Yeah, here's your origin story that you didn't write. You
didn't write anything. That's why this is so fun.
And so he says, yeah, Grenna, here's exactly what happened with you. I traveled to the Feywild. I stole you, and I brought you back here. Yeah.
From whom?
That's a really good question. I didn't really care to ask. I just took one of them. And I mean, you probably don't even know what your real true form looks like, being that you were raised, here in this realm. So, and of course, you were so young when I pretty much snatched you from your people. uh, so, yeah, yeah. Um, so there it is. And you
I
can
know
see
this.
that your parents, so to speak, are kind of like looking at you like, it's okay, it's gonna be all right.
I need
I
to.
know this is family matters, but why did you do it?
Oh. Okay, so Lord Protector, you have to understand, I'm a thief. I love to steal shit. That's
Okay.
like my number one thing. And so I saw this cute little creature, not realizing that it could like actually change into other things. I just took it. You know, that's me.
Kleptomania.
It's what I do. It's my verb.
No closer to figuring out what I am than I was when I started. Yay!
Yeah. And but see, here's kind of the thing. You've been in this realm for so long that if you probably, I'm kind of thinking, because I've only been to the Feywild twice, if you return to the Feywild, you may end up returning to your original form.
Which is
That's a really good question. I have no idea. That's the beautiful part about this whole story is
So you had no
the-
idea what it was. You just grabbed it and ran. You didn't see the bigger ones.
Nah. I just
With my luck, watch the Dryad be my mother.
I don't think that that's possible.
Probably not, but that would be my luck.
Yeah.
Either that or it hates my parents, so therefore, that's just gonna.
Yeah. So there you have it. So what do you think?
Been a long year.
So he's like, so with that in mind, I think I'm gonna go. And he just gets up and kind of just like says,
You have someone watch him as he leaves.
said Timble,
Make sure
nice
he doesn't
chatting
steal
with you
something
again.
else.
He goes around and says bye to everybody, and hey, where do you want me to send all these heads? I mean, I've got like 5 heads now. Where do you want? I mean, do you want them on pikes?
Like catapult and send them back to the army.
no.
That would be kind of fun.
Well, yeah, it's always disconcerting.
It'd be nice if we could preserve them.
Oh,
I look
Okay.
at Timble. What?
okay, I'm
Strange art.
Why does
Actually,
this sound? Didn't this happen in Silence of the Lambs where they were putting heads in jars and if you read the book, you know what they were doing while they were looking at the head in the jar, and that is, having been to the Silence of the Lambs house, I am a Silence of the Lambs aficionado. We are not doing that.
I am more than willing to take them myself.
Remember, it puts the lotion on its skin.
Yup.
So right now the heads are being preserved with a gentle repose spell. So whenever you guys want to take, I guess,
You can bring
ownership.
them
Oh, okay.
I mean,
He'll send somebody
to
with
someone
a
bring
box.
them to
Send somebody with a chest of heads.
I look at
Actually, if gentle repose is on it, then we can continue. You can do a communicate with dead with that, then, can't you?
Should be able to.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you really want to. But
No, you
I
ask.
guess
You,
I'm
you,
hoping
you
is
ask.
it something.
You
Sorry, I
ask them
get.
you ask them one question and put their head in the box, and then close the box, and they're alive for eternity, waiting to answer those 2 questions.
wow. I know. I would think Kellex would be a little bit disturbed by
yes,
this.
I will be
Yeah.
seeing their return.
Well, I'm thinking I was going to ask the good thief if a message or something was left behind. I'm sure they're going to find their bodies, but
They'll be
Oh,
returned.
well, I don't remember that being a part of the deal. We weren't supposed to like
Nope.
leave messages, like
okay,
love
that's
letters
fine.
or something. Said, "Oh, hey,
Okay.
I just
Or
completely lost my head."
I'm sure the chancellor will see to it.
Okay, so yeah, so
But thank you. Your help has been most appreciated. Most
yeah,
appreciated.
good.
And
Yeah.
Brian, the heads will be placed in the bag of holding.
Oh, the bag of the shit bag, shit bag. Okay. The bag of shit holding. Okay. The latrine bag. Okay, so but before he leaves, he looks over at Grenna and Regis, not Grenna, Gita and Regis, and says, "Okay, so you guys know your marching orders. You guys are going to go meet with Sir Timothy. Good luck. Yeah, don't come back without any heads." As he just smiles at them, and they just give him a nod, and he walks out the door, leaving you guys there with the Mr. and Mrs. Babble Boots. So, all
If
righty.
you ever feel bad about your family, I think I'll win. Where's
Okay.
Bob?
You left her back in Celene.
Never said I left him.
No, Bubbles is usually with you no matter what. I mean, it's, kind of attached at the hip kind of a thing.
How did
So,
Bubbles take all this in?
but Bubbles didn't really communicate with you or anything. He's just staring at you, kind of like he understands what has been said, and
Right.
you're kind of thinking that, maybe even he knows more than he is even letting on.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Okay,
So let's go kill something. Actually, I need a nap.
Before we all depart to our chambers for a much needed rest, I'm just going to kind of relay the message that I got from Shira that the griffins are on their way to us.
And Brian, what was the name of the gnome assassin that was running around doing everything?
Regis.
And Gnome
Veteran?
well,
He was a halfling.
he's a
Oh,
halfling.
halfling, sorry.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, Victram Harefoot.
I would move to change his name to Savoir Faire. If you've ever watched the old cartoons,
Yes.
Savoir Faire is everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. Okay. So,
You know what
so
that
is
means?
everybody retiring to their chambers, or what are they doing?
Yeah.
I'm on guard. I'm on guard duty outside my chamber.
Okay. So, Grenna, as you all stand up and get ready to go, Gita and Regis look at you, and you can see that they're sad that that this actually had to come out, and they both look at you, and as you all walk around the table towards the door, they're standing in front of you, and your Gita just says, I know this is a lot for you, but it's kind of, we don't want to lose you, as
You're the only parents I know. You'll always be my parents, but I
and
really got.
you can see the smile and the tears start to flow, and they just hug on you, and they're like, oh, something. We wanted to make sure you understood, and but we're sorry we kept all this from you. Yes, we're horrible killers. We killed a lot of people, but we did it for a good, well, not always a good cause, but this is a good cause, right?
Money's a good
Maker,
cause.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it was for money.
make her make a wisdom save
Why?
to see how you handle it.
I handle it just fine.
She's cool with it. Okay. So everybody,
I do not have conflicted inner emotions about people. I
Yeah.
either like you or I don't. We're fine.
but the thing with you, Grenna, is that now the mystery is still there.
Yes.
I mean, you've got a little bit of a taste of what happened, but you still don't understand what the big picture is.
No, but the important thing for her, I feel, is to have some sort of grounding. So if her parents were turning their back on her, that would throw her off and lose her grounding. So
Right.
since they're still there, she has her grounding and she's fine. She just really needs a nap.
Yeah. Okay. So,
But as we head back to our rooms, I do kind of look at Grenna and says, "Well, now you've gotten more of a full story. Well, what are your plans next?" I can't hear you.
oh,
Nope.
you're muted or something. I don't know what happened.
Are you playing with things? Buttons. Next, well, we have a job we need to finish, and then we'll go to the Fey world and figure it out. We got to finish our mission first.
Fair enough. Glad to hear that. That you're going to stick around.
You want to split the group?
No.
Because if we split, and I'm taking the dragon.
Only if if the DM wants to give me like unlimited advantages on something, then maybe.
Although
There's
I
a
think
cost.
Brenna's probably going to start trying to play around to see what kind of new abilities, power, I don't know, things that she might have. Because she's already done some, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay.
Let's see who else I can get cursed.
Okay. So everybody
Actually-
but Tomas is returning to their room. Oh, Tomas.
Correct. And while I'm out there, I'm performing Song of Rest. So anybody that hears me and is there healing up, if you happen to be burning any of your hit dice to gain extra hit points, to get yourself to an extra D12.
Okay.
Are we taking a long or short rest?
Well, that's the question. Anybody, it doesn't say. I mean, that maximizes short rest, but just in case somebody attacks, I am putting all the tripwires out.
I got a head start on all you punks.
Okay.
I'd say
So
long
Gareth
rest.
goes back to his room and does his checks his gear, does his his prayers to Heronius, and goes to bed.
Okay. So you all have a fitful rest, except for Tomas. Tomas is up for the duration. So
You said fitful, or like they had problems sleeping, or did they have a good rest?
They had a good rest.
I thought you,
Yeah.
I thought you said they had a fitful rest, like twitching in their sleep.
Full rest except for you because you decided to sing.
Yes. Well, I don't do it all night. I just do it once, and then everybody goes to sleep. I'm singing everybody a lullaby.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Wow. No. Okay. That was a bad term. So not fitful, but actually a pleasant rest. You were able to sleep. Kippy was able to. I mean, zonked out pretty much almost immediately after he was done with his devotions, and everyone wakes rested and fit. And so you guys, once you get up, you start making your way down, into the castle, lower level of the castle, and you can actually hear in the courtyard the sounds of griffin chatter, song, so to speak. And you, as you look out one of the windows onto the courtyard below, you can see that there are 9 griffins out there in the courtyard that have been tied to posts and things of that nature. You don't see anyone else around them attending them, so you kind of think that they probably arrived in the middle of the night. And but there are still, of course, guards in the courtyard and everything like that. But they just try to. They don't get close to the griffins because the griffins are pretty scary. But you do see that there are definitely guards out doing their thing, but they're not trying to touch the griffins. Griffins have sharp beaks.
And I'm assuming these are different griffins from the ones we had.
Yes, these are different griffins.
Do we need to redo our handle animal, because I actually had a critical success last time I did, and that's why I've been changing that, or do I get to keep writing that since I know?
Yeah. You need to redo it because these are new creatures, so they'll have to get used to you.
Bitch in the head.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are the riders?
You're not really too sure as you're looking out the window down into the courtyard, but as you continue downstairs, you can see that Silver is talking with a group of elven rangers who wear the livery of the House of Celene. They look to be the same group that Val was a part of when you first met Val in the forest on your way to Instead so many weeks ago. And as Silver sees you all walk in to the throne room area, he says, and here they are now. And you see these elves immediately turn and of course bow with respect to you. And one of them says, the Queen Mother sends her regards, your lordship. The griffins outside are yours to do as you see fit. All you have to do is, once you're finished with them, just tell them to return home, and they will do so.
What are your orders?
Yep.
We are actually going to try to do some infiltration work to the north of Chargé over the next few days. So.
And what's their second general order? Look at everybody laugh and say, "Can I remember the second general
order?" I'm like going, "Damn, wow!" Talk about the days.
Well, first general order is I'll guard everything within limits of my post, quitting my post only when properly relieved. But I can never remember the second.
Kill or be killed.
I think I was drunk on that one. So,
yeah.
Just that one?
Wasn't it something like bitches get stitches? I mean,
Let's just
like, this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun. I thought that was the second one.
That's the 69th general order.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Well, you have our thanks, and be careful out there.
Of course. Thank you, my lord. You see these elves file out, and Silver says, but before you go, Calyx, it seems as though the nobles had gathered recently and have decided to increase your rank. Unfortunately, you're no longer the Lord Commander Major. So, congratulations, General Calyx.
Well, you didn't say Lord General, so maybe that's
Lord General. Yeah, Lord General.
Yeah, you saw a look of panic on his face, because he doesn't realize what the talks with the old nobles have been. So I've been.
Well, yeah, you haven't been in the in this. Silver does ask though. He says, many have asked about the whereabouts of Lady Ilia. Do we know if she is safe?
She is safe.
She is safe.
That is all they need to know.
You're keeping it right.
Well, there has been some talk that something had befallen her. But I'm glad to hear that that is true. That is
she
just
is
a rumor.
safe and among friends. We'll put it
Good.
that way.
Good. Well,
Um,
I think that once the hostilities have abated here, that it would probably be good for her to once again at least make an appearance.
as she wishes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, good luck to you all. Good flying. Be very careful. It is quite dangerous out there. And just as you all are finishing up your conversation with Sylvia, Aravistrax joins you. And she's just kind of standing in the back behind you all, sort of just watching everything and taking everything in.
I
So-
guess we look at Aristovax and ask, will you be okay here? I mean, are you able? I mean, you said a whole day. I mean, are you able to join us, or will you be staying here?
Well, I think what would probably be better now that you have your ability to fly, I think it would be better that we go ahead and continue what we had planned before, is that I go ahead and start making myself a nuisance to your enemies. Is there anywhere special you would like for me to hit first?
Sylvia,
So
you would have a better idea of the front.
He
Perhaps
says, "Oh,
you
yes,
could assist in that.
we can take a look at." Yeah, I said I'll be happy to talk with her ladyship about the maps and everything and where we think would do the most good.
And
That's
if you
perfect.
can't find a location, there's always a little retribution on where they shot you with that horrendous weapon.
She says, "Yes, I think I'm going to try to skirt around that area a little bit before
Fair
I."
enough.
Yeah. So, but
True.
but before you all walk out, she says, "Again, it has been a great privilege to have been working with you. I hope that what I can provide will speed along the victory that I see on the horizon. And thank you very much for watching over my last egg. I do believe that the elves have my best interest at heart." She looks over at you, Tomas, and says, "And thank you, Sir Tomas, Lord Tomas, for keeping watch at my door last night. I know that it was probably a long day and night for you." So she says that if there is, I am truly in your debt, all of you, for pulling me off of that battlefield. So good luck to you.
Well, Lady Abyssrax, we have a debt to each other in a way.
Mm.
And I challenge you to honor the debt yourself.
Yes. So she says, "So good luck. Fly safe."
And be sure to keep us apprised of how things are going. And Kellex kind of touches where he keeps that thing where he can communicate with her.
Of course. Of course. As soon as I get the information from Lord Sylvier, I will probably go ahead and start making myself the terror of the skies once again. And
Keep your head on a swivel.
Of course.
You now know they are armed with weapons that can kill you with ease.
Yes.
We won't be there to save you.
I totally understand. All right. So good luck. And she walks past you, and you can hear her and Sylvia talking as they walk into the map room where they had the big maps laid out on the table. And you can see that that's so. You head out into the courtyard. These magnificent flying creatures are there in front of you. I need each of you to make an animal handling check.
I did earlier.
As
If
you
you
mount
scroll
up on
up, you can
these.
see them all.
I did as well, 15.
I got a 26.
Okay, so Kiffy.
I got an 8.
Kellogg's got an 8. Ouch.
It's the bronze dragon blood. It's still seeping on my
It
my
must
Warhammer.
be.
I'm
It
a little
must be.
nervous.
It must be. Okay. So cool. All right. So, oh, and Yarn got a 24. Nice. Okay. Wow. Actually, you guys did really, except for Kellogg's, everybody else did relatively okay. Okay, cool. So, Kellogg's, yours seems to be a little bit willful.
Go figure.
And it does seem to be giving you a little bit of a hard time, but
It's mating season. There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, it's mating season. Jeez.
Haven't seen other species. Why not this one?
Okay. So just as you're getting ready to take off into the air, you receive a message from Shira, and it says, "We know of Val's location. Unfortunately, he is no longer in Ket, but we believe he has been teleported to Zyph. He is being held there as a prisoner and a trophy. Our spies were able to get a glimpse of him before he was was sent through a portal." Stop. It's like telegraph.
I return the message. Exact location in Zyph? Question mark.
They're thinking capital city. Most likely the castle Zyph itself, which has an impressive dungeon system under it. So yeah.
A
I can-
long way away.
It's a
That's
long way away.
Okay, well, I relayed this to everyone about the message.
Yay, Anna B. Meyer.
And I hope that Yarn might have a means to get us there, but I'm just a little
Negative
doubtful.
buddy. I'm just good at getting us back.
and even that can be kind of thwarted depending on the whim of the
At least for friendly sites.
Meanwhile,
using-
as
Go ahead.
Lord Tomas mounts up and he kind of looks over at Kellex and takes out his lyre and goes, "I'm the very model of a modern Bisson general. I'm informative. I have information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the queens of Celene, and I quote the fights historical from Greyhawk to in orders categorical. I'm very well acquainted with the matters mathematical. I understand equations, but the simple and quadratical. From binomial theorem, I'm teeming with a lot of news, with many cheerful facts about the square of the hypotenuse." And then I smile at him. I go, "Here we go again."
You know, that was a lot of words. Do you know what they mean?
I do.
So I rolled a 20 for my wisdom check. I will not be humming that in my head all the way there.
Yeah.
Amarillo by morning stuck in my head all week.
Yeah, but I've been telling her Aravistorex by morning.
No, but it was Amarillo by morning.
Yeah,
He obeyed
Amarillo.
it.
On the podcast. Yeah, Amarillo by morning.
Yeah, but I always
I'm trying to get out of my head. Nope. Now I know all the verses.
sing that song amaretto in morning. So you're drinking amaretto in the morning.
Oh, okay. So
I'm using the new GIS map, and I can't find Zyph anywhere. Is that Chujmit now?
okay.
It is
No,
on
it's further
the,
west.
It's hex number
X number.
L6104.
Okay, and I think the capital is Dabia, Dhabia.
I
Or
looked
D-
up
No,
Why,
that's
Incredible
the,
City is
that's the
Zyph.
river, isn't it?
Oh,
the
is it
capital
Zyph
is
itself?
Zyph. Yeah, the capital is Zyph itself.
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to find it.
It's on the coast.
Oh, it
It's
is
all
on
the way to the west on the coast.
Yep.
Oh,
is it the
wow.
It's not the California
in there and you don't even know where it is. Ah.
Oh, we'll make him with the flavor now.
I'm
Do I
checking.
need, do I need to put a screenshot in the
I'm checking the coast here, and I'm not
Yeah, go ahead.
seeing it.
green screen?
Okay,
Look at
I'm
for the
I'm gonna
river.
bring up the
look at Ekbar.
Follow the river to the coast. And
yeah.
then
So
you
yeah.
have-
So
Oh, I found it. Yeah, I think it was at Zir I Zeif. Is that
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Okay, that's
It's
it.
here Zeif,
Okay, cool. Okay, that's cool.
or City Zeif. I think
Yeah.
it's what it's supposed
What
to be.
it translates out to? Okay, cool. Okay, I found
so
it.
so the new map doesn't go that far.
Oh.
The GIS map. That's why I couldn't see it. I was like, where the hell's that?
Yeah, it's a little far away from where you're at. So
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we're
not-
gonna need to stop and
right?
eat.
So-
We need a fly through.
We're here.
Yep. Yep.
So over the barrier peaks and through the plains of the Paynims.
The penis.
How long are we looking at?
ooh.
Days.
Roughly. I mean, it took us what 4 hours to get from.
Yeah, I think it was, well, I know like from Celene to Perrinland, when you went to go visit the dragon, it was like 6 hours. It was 4 hours from Perrinland to Ket because you went over the mountain. So we're looking at probably close to about 18 to 20 hours. Yeah.
Against the wind.
Well, let's get started. Travel by map. Okay, now we're there. Fight. No,
We can always just follow the river.
along with everybody else.
All right. Well,
What kind of weather are we facing?
You're not really too sure.
Find out.
Once you get over the mountains and into like the open lands on the other side, it's kind of hard to tell.
what do we know of Zeif?
It's gonna burn.
It's
I mean, I guess I'm looking at, is it just strictly all human? Is it?
And if I have any roles that might help that, bolster
Please
what our
do.
knowledge are.
You there, Mr. Historical Guy?
Yep, coming in. Sorry, had to go to the bathroom.
Nope, you're fine.
That's a history roll.
Mhm.
I don't know shit about Zeith.
Pin's middle.
It begins with a Z.
So it's
Ends with
last alphabetically in the list of nations.
Okay, so
Which is probably why I don't know anything about it. I never got to the end of the list. I got bored
So
and did other shit.
you know that the name of the ruler is Murad, the Sultan of Zeif. It is a monarchy, hereditary ruler. Zir El Zeif is the capital. It's got a fairly large population. I mean, it's a good sized country, but it's kind of spread out. 88, probably right around 80 to 90% are humans. There are orcs. Other races are just like 1%. Orcs don't really make up much of the percentage, only about 10%. There are roving bands of orcish raiders and stuff. The languages there, of course, are common, Backloonish, some Backloonish dialects, Orc, of course. So, yeah. Yeah, pretty interesting. They are also followers of Al Akbar, the same people that the Ket follow. They, yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah.
All right. So I'm just
Here we
going
go. Good.
Let's head out. What's that?
No, I'm sorry. I walked on you. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I guess we head out. I don't know. Let's have a look and think. I mean, we have an idea where it's at. I guess the question, the capital is right there on the coast. Or sorry, the Zeif capital.
Yep.
We need to
Do we try to find maybe an outlying town?
We need to
I mean, at least we land away from eyes,
Yeah.
and then we try to disguise ourselves, go, and then try to get into the capital and do some snooping around.
Well,
Okay.
let's see. I mean, you can take a look at the map. There are like I said, it's kind of a really wide open country. Yeah. So there's not, as far as like small towns, there really doesn't seem to be all that much. I mean, of course, there's that Eastern Royal Road on the northern side, just east of Zeif. I mean, and that's all just kind of patchy, forested.
We need to talk to Vitram.
Yeah.
We need to talk to Vitram.
I know Vitram said it was going to take a couple of weeks before he could get anybody in there. We'll be there long before that.
Well, he was saying that within this week he was going to have. So within the next 3 to 4 days, he was going to have somebody in the court there.
Yeah, that might be a good idea then, Jarn. Talk to Vitram and then just see if they can get. We'll meet with them by the time we get there, because we're not going to fly straight to the capital.
Right.
All right, Kimball.
Brian,
you seem to be buddy with Vitram.
Brian, you need to stop that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Okay. So yeah, don't mean to put people to sleep. Stop it. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you can always go back to Madame Plum's, which is where Vitram pretty much hangs out. That's the kind of the shady establishment that's on the outskirts of Pellic. That obviously that has good pork and beef and really good food and wine, but the place looks like it's should be condemned. So if you want to make your way over there, you can.
And what were we needing over there again? Sorry, I was looking at the map. Completely zoned out. Trying to find a place for us to land. Still haven't found one.
Maybe Vitram might have an idea.
Yeah, we need intel. We need intel for the area because we don't have any.
All right, we can go there and.
So, Master Entry.
The Lord Protector General will not be one to be seen in such a place. I have to keep up the morale.
Oh, maybe you should take all that livery shit off and stand like a normal man.
Stand like a.
But yeah, I can. I'll go up and ask him to join us somewhere that I guess has a better reputation than this place, which frankly I think is truly a plum. It is a great little place.
It's a hole in the wall, but it's like the best place to go. But you can always go to the Crimson Banner, which is a more reputable place in Pellic.
I think we need to find some place in between.
Okay.
Where was the place we kept meeting Raven?
That's the Crimson Banner.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
As far as I'm concerned, he could meet us at a livery somewhere. But these guys brought up food and.
Well, here's the thing. As we go in here, if we're going into Zeif, they're back loonish, and we are going to stand out like fucking flies in the buttermilk. So do we either embrace it or do we try to disguise it?
Well, considering they probably have wanted posters with our face on them over there too, it doesn't really matter at this point. Just embrace it and burn the place down. We're good at that.
I mean, you,
That's what I'm saying. We walk in like we're the biggest swingins, and we say, "Hey," and we don't hide at the lower. We come in saying who we are at this point. If nothing else, it will have the other forces turn like, "Oh shit, they're invading from within," and we can go from there.
That, and I can turn you into a dinosaur, remember?
We talked about that.
I know we did.
Well, at this point,
So
dead
are
is
you saying we should go as like in a peaceful ambassador way to discuss terms?
Peaceful about what we're doing.
Pov's kind of getting it in a warped way, and if they don't agree to the terms, then we slaughter everybody in the room.
okay. Don't it,
If you give us our man back, we'll give you the heads of your men.
Here's the thing: we might stand out, but the thing is, I'm sure they have merchants and all kinds of people coming in from different places in the country. I mean, we may stand out, but will we really stand out?
that far
Let's see.
there,
A gnome that's not really a gnome, a
We're not gonna
dwarf,
be dressed like
a
we are.
wizard, and a painter, along with the Lord Protector, Chancellor, or whatever your title is now. And who knows what title of mine has reached down here. So, hell, they're probably still learning the Tomas two-step shuffle down here, and I can teach them that. But,
Now, I think your picture says dickhead.
Lair.
oh well.
Lair. Let me remind you, you're going into what would be Lair, and they're probably legendary, and we're probably just more air and full of shit.
well, I mean, you do have options. I mean, you could always present yourself to the embassy to Zyph in Greyhawk, just like you did to the embassy in Ket of Ket in Greyhawk, and maybe try to get some information that way. I mean, just throwing out some ideas. Or you could do it the way you guys usually do it, which is,
Burn everything down.
burn everything down. Yeah,
And ask
like
questions later. Yeah.
let's burn.
Actually, I already have my target for Zyph. I already know what we're going to burn down.
Okay.
Grenna?
I don't know if we want to go to the Zyph embassy and kind of give them the hint that we're obviously, if they see us coming, they know why we're there.
Grenna, can you create something for me?
I can certainly try.
I want a string, a ribbon, something that'll flap in the wind, but I want 3 or 4 little air whistles, high-pitched whistles that we can unfurl and drape behind our griffins as we make our way into town.
Ooh,
And
like the
screaming eagles.
Yeah, wing percentage of the Polish people.
Yeah,
We
so
need pres-
like, was it like JU 88s or something like that, or 87?
Yeah.
God.
We're gonna go storming into town. Let's do it in style. And
Let's have people screaming and running in different directions. Gosh.
And as I'm playing Fly to the Valkyries, is that on dun, 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 dun,
sounds good to me.
That only works if you have helicopters.
We're on Griffins. We only come in the morning.
That's right.
We're on Screaming Eagles.
Because remember, folks, Charlie don't surf.
I think we need to try Vitrum first to see if he can provide us any info, and then maybe we try to go to Greyhawk and Zyph embassy and see if we can get something from there.
Okay. So
Boy, this is gonna make this take a long time. I just want to
I
go.
have no interest in seeing Zyph embassy.
All right, so let's try Vitrum and see what he can give us.
okay. So I mean, you can send someone to
I'll go.
Oh, okay. So
I'm gonna go.
It's a
Okay.
respect thing.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Okay. So Temple, you make your way back over to Madame Plum's tavern, and Of course, there are people who are. I mean, it's early morning, but people are still coming and going. I mean, they're delivering wine and food and stuff. You know, the shopkeepers are bringing in stuff, so you know that Madame Plums is purchasing. You know, so that they can continue with business. You walk in, you kind of look around. You know, kind of exactly where you're going. You remember the symbols on the door frames and the like, and you make your way there. Again, you were met by that very tall human who sort of asks you what you're doing and asks you once again to place your weapons in the box.
No.
So,
Could you go get Vitram for me if he's done with his rounds?
Okay. If that's the way you would like it.
I'll wait right here. And tell him to bring that wonderful flask of whiskey.
Okay. So as he does so, you're kind of like in a small room, and he goes through the door, and as he shuts the door.
All by my standard or his?
What's that?
Small by my standard or his?
It's kind of like it's a small room. It's just kind of like a hallway between, like an adjoining between two rooms. But as he does so, you see that the door handle and the locking mechanism glow a bright orange and then fade. And you notice that on both the lock behind you and in front of you. And you're like, oh, that's different. But a few moments pass, and once again you see that the door, the handle and the lock glow orange once again, and the door opens. And this time Vitram walks through, and he says, so you came back for the whiskey. Knew it'd catch you. Knew that would get you.
It's quite good. Actually, I would like some. I have a journey ahead of me.
Oh,
if you could make that happen.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But,
You've done. Yes. I've got your stuff. Okay, no problem. He says,
my padres, my friends, would all like to meet with you, but they're not willing to go slumming.
Oh, they didn't want to come to Miss Plums? Oh, come on. It's just,
I don't get it, but hey, more for us.
Busy crafting your whistling ribbons.
Okay, so he says, I would be happy to. So he just so let's go. And so as he's walking out, he kind of reaches under the bar there and pulls out like an actual like a cask of this whiskey, and he says, my friend, this is yours. Enjoy.
Oh.
Don't drink it all at once, because it will screw you the hell up.
Oh, this is enough. I might have to share.
Oh, well, I mean, I can get it anytime I want, but I know that you now have a taste for it.
Oh, yes.
Certainly don't want you to go without. I mean, God, I'm a monster, but I'm not that type of monster. Come on.
Well, off to find these yahoos.
Yeah. So yeah, as you guys are just chatting and drinking your way back up to the. So finally, Vitram and Temple make their way back into the castle, and as you all are standing there, you can just see this brown, this bottle just keeps getting passed back, and they're already they're feeling no pain. This is all good, this is good stuff. So
glad you weren't flying anywhere today.
Yeah, so Vitram says, Lord Protector, I'm glad to see you again this morning. So
yes, it is this morning. And he kind of looks at them both.
Oh, you don't believe in day drinking. I get it.
No,
I get it.
I didn't expect it. Quite all right.
I'm all about the day drinking.
I'll hold out the cup.
We're big fans.
I'll share.
Right, Tomas?
I'm all about it.
as the bottle gets passed around, everybody's like, "Whoa, okay." Little hair
We're
of the
not
dog.
flying anywhere today.
Hair of the
But
dog.
then, I,
Nobody.
but then I
Nobody.
bummed his cigarette and asked him for a light.
So Vidrum says, so what is it that you need? I mean, what can I tell you?
We need to go into Zyph, and what information can you provide us to help us possibly go get in as quietly as possible to the
Okay.
capital of Zyph?
Okay. Tell him what we're doing.
Yeah. So we need to
We're
rescue.
trying to save the world.
We're trying to rescue a prince of Celene.
Uh-huh.
Princess.
He's been teleported, or he was taken to Ket, and then teleported to the capital of Zyph.
Oh.
And what we need to do is we need to find the means to get in there, maybe as unnoticeable as possible, to rescue this prince.
Okay. Well,
I got a spell for that.
I know I at least have at least 2, maybe 3 more days before my informant actually gets there. So I can't really provide you much information about what's on the ground. Not yet.
I was hoping we would have at least some information before sending anyone.
Zyph is just so far away. It's usually, I don't usually. It's just so far that I don't really. All my little tentacles have not really ever been able to really penetrate that far west.
Tentacles into. Okay.
Yeah.
Once your people get there, how long do they usually take for them to gather what information they usually provide to you or get themselves in positions?
Well, actually, that's the beautiful thing about it. I already have them set up so that they're already. A lot of them have. Okay, so here's how we do it. Okay, you know the people that we've killed and we decapitated them? Yeah, okay, so here's what we do. We use magic to make our people look like those people that we killed. Yeah, that's how we do shit. So, they're just gonna waltz in just like everything's fine.
This is not exactly unlike the plan I had.
Who exactly are your people going to impersonate in Zyph?
Oh, okay. So, well, I think it was like last week we ended up killing a Viscount from Zyph, and so he was supposed to go home because his Mrs. is expecting, and so yeah, we're sending him home. Kinda. Yeah. So yeah. So that's how we do it.
I'm glad he didn't raise me.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's
So I kind of look at the rest of the group and said, well, do we delay our travel? Could this Viscount be able to help us get close, or at least in a position to help this Prince of Celene?
We don't know what the weather's going to be like. We could, it's going to take us at least a day and a half flying. We could take a little bit more time and make sure that the Griffins aren't
Tired.
Oh, just keep them healthy and at their best. Yes,
Yeah.
and we don't want them tiring out.
So yeah, he continues
The
and
question
says,
would be making meeting up with that individual because they're not expecting someone coming, and we don't know them. That could be a dicey situation.
Okay. What do we know? We know Val is in Zyph.
yes.
We know Val is imprisoned somewhere in Zyph,
Yes.
right? And that's all we know.
so we need somebody.
Effectively, we don't have any other information.
Well, this is why the Viscount might be able to help us.
Okay.
Now, once my man gets into where he's going to be, I do have communication, and I will be able to
30
find
minutes,
out
Brian.
if he can find out exactly where the prince is. Now, once he can pinpoint where the prince is, then we should be good to go.
Question: your informant.
Mhm.
Where did it? I guess what the person he was pretending to be. Where were they coming from? I'm thinking if we meet up with him sooner, we could be like an entourage of his or something like that.
Well,
Mm.
I'll put another interesting twist in there, Pop. That's what I was going with. How are they managing their disguises? If it's magical, then we can tap into that. And instead of them replacing the nobles that they're killing, we replace the nobles they're killing and infiltrate that way.
No,
I'm not
you're,
sure.
you're interfering with somebody
Afraid
else's
to ask what kind of
rice
magic they're
bowl.
using.
You're interfering with somebody else's rice bowl. That's not going to work.
I would rather that the individual find out where he Val's being kept, and that we just be given an opening.
We brute force in.
Burn everything down.
We can
Then
get a
leave.
map and go in. I mean, not necessarily, through the front gate and tally ho. We're going to try to sneak in, and eventually sneaking always ends up as
Fails.
brute. Yeah. So it just ends that way.
So, like Timbo was saying, we take our time getting there, and we find a location, and then once this Zyph informant is in place, then we just make communication with him, and then plan from there.
And from that gives us a couple of days prep if we need to store specialty items and not waste game time doing that. We could kind of just say, hey, going into the next game, this is what we plan to do, and that allows Brian to prep versus having him having to jot down names.
Can't we do it tonight? I don't like it when he preps.
Good call. Let's start. We're in Zyph, Brian, and we're fucking everything up. What are you doing?
I'm going to turn to Vitram, and I'm going to kind of get up there and say to him very quietly, how do you communicate with them? Is it possible we could communicate with you?
I'm sure that I could come up with some way that you would be able to do that. That's totally within. I mean, I do have magic users that work for me. Some extremely well-known magic users that are in my employ. I'm sure I could find.
That way we could coordinate with your new little hand in Zyph.
Yes.
All right.
Well, yes, I can. I'll reach out real quick and see if I can get a device for you. That would be wonderful.
I just want to ask what he's and Grenna's advice, if they have anything they want to, any advice or anything they want to pass on. Any thoughts on this?
I'm with you guys.
I have a different idea of how to approach this, but the consensus seems to be this. So,
No, shoot.
ready to
Come on,
go.
Jarn. Tell us what you think. Come
Wreak
on.
havoc.
Give it to us.
well,
Give it to me, baby. Ooh.
while I am normally one of the first ones to go through the door and start blasting,
That's
this-
why you
I'm so glad he muted himself.
you didn't.
So, my thought is that we wait until the asset is on the ground. We wait until he identifies where Val is. Then we act.
But we could be on our way there.
Understand that. I think that they have the option of, Val's an elf. They don't have any elves there. He could die just by lack of care. And I understand that the whole goal is to rescue him, but I think that leaving before we have information and relying on a single means of communication is not necessarily going to be the best solution. Now, I do have a question for Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before you put that out there, Russ, go ahead,
What?
Russ.
Does
Go,
the
Russ.
Drawmidge Ocean and the Ice Sea connect?
Oh,
I don't think so.
In other words, can I get to the north coast of Greyhawk from Zyfe?
the north coast of Greyhawk.
The map didn't really show.
So I'm trying to pull a different kind of map, see if it really shows.
Yeah.
The original paper map, yes.
If you pull way out on her map, it is.
Yeah,
Damn, that looks cold up there.
yeah, it does.
Okay. That is the reason I asked that is that's an additional escape route from Zyfe that gets us out of their control quickly.
Well, I agree with what you're saying, Russ. We're trying to look for exit strategies, and I think this is the point. One thing I would do, because we're going to send informants in to try and feed us information to help them succeed. We have some gold and some magic items, even if they're just +2 swords, that could help the agent in some way. Let's donate that rather than humping it around, because we're not going to give it to anybody. And then maybe that will give us some synergy bonus on the intel that comes back that we make the next decision.
Well, the agent should
You-
have
you
everything
want-
they need. But if
You
we're
want to pay for a service before you get it.
It doesn't cost us anything. That's shit we took from somebody else. And we're at the level we're playing with the house money anyway. So why not just buy influence whenever we can, and then exploit whatever we return, reap and reward from the returns? Oh, am I being too low cunning for a change?
no, I think I was actually basically thinking the same as Yarn, and that I think
Ah,
we
fuck
should
me.
take some time, let the agent get in. We go act then. We are working on communication so that we can get that and leave early, but not necessarily so early that the agent isn't in place. If we give them like a day and a half, in which Kellex would need to explain to Celene, we have an agent actively searching where we believe he's at. We will tell you more in a few days. That way they're not expecting immediate.
Brian,
If
what's
we-
the approximate
if we're
fly
looking-
time there?
If we're looking at days,
18 hours?
if we're
18
looking at days, I can take Kellex back to Celene, have him plan everything that they communicate and coordinate, and come back.
I think we have the means to do it by magic, so I don't think we need to go to Celene at this point. We just need to get ourselves ready for when we start heading to Zyfe.
Well,
Yeah, we're just
I'm just looking at the possibility of ending up in Greyhawk too.
No, that's fine. But I think at this point, I think I agree with you both. We wait till the agent has boots on the ground, give him a day and a half. He's coming back to see his lovely wife.
He's having a baby.
Let's give him extra time for a second. What if we go back and we send doppelgangers out as an entourage, as an ambassador, people that look like us, to think that we're coming from a different angle, and then we could fucking strike as soon as we get classic information behind the scenes.
Not willing to
Put
let all the
anybody at risk
information
for
out.
our sake.
Yeah.
What's that?
I-
Yeah, I'll put other people at risk. I don't give a shit. I'm chaotic neutral. I don't give a fuck.
The monkeys might fly out of my butt.
No, no. I'm not doing that.
I think I'd rather stay here, get everything that we need. Talk with Vitram. Maybe he can help us with some garb, some things that would help.
Good, because I have a
can
project
actually
that
do
needs about
disguise
3
kit.
days worth of. I have a project that needs about 3 days.
You have a project that needs 3 days.
She'll never love you.
Don't care.
3 days sounds good. We can do that. Stay here with Vitram. Let the agent get in, get comfortable, and then let them find out where Val is if they can. And
So we're gonna relay this to Vitram.
Yeah,
Basically,
here,
we're gonna wait.
we're going over some mountains. We need
Let's
cold
follow-
weather gear. We need all of that stuff. We need the food. We need extra food for the Griffins. Because who knows what sparse shit is over there? I don't know.
So let me call a timeout for a second because we've got 15 minutes of game time. We can either call a pause and we can come to a consensus of a list of items that we want to accomplish, and Brian can handle those offline. And that
That's
way
fine.
that doesn't turn into, and he can relay the success or, well, it'll always be success. So
15
he'll
more
relay
minutes.
the successes and we'll go from there.
Okay. So I guess we will put it to bed for this evening. All right. So folks who are
And by
watching.
the way,
Yeah.
that's a recommendation, Brian. I'm not trying to overtake, but this
Okay.
seems like a logical break.
No, it's really good. No, that's all fine. So thank you all very much for hanging out and playing this evening. Folks watching at home or watching later, thank you all very much for taking the time to spend with us this evening to watch and listen to us. If you want to catch us on
When are we going to
man.
play next week?
Oh, okay. We'll get to that. You can catch us on YouTube at The Mystic Syndicate. Just type in The Mystic Syndicate. There's already there's a Mystic Syndicate also, but they're a band, I think, out of like Asheville, North Carolina or something like that. But we are The Mystic Syndicate. You'll know because we don't play music here. We're not musically inclined unless you're Tomas. So Tomas sings every once in a while. But you can also catch earlier episodes on our podcast by going to the Apple podcast page or store or whatever, and just type in The Mystic Syndicate and you will find us there as well. We will hopefully be back next week is Thanksgiving. What do you think?
Tuesday.
I have all week
Tuesday.
off. I don't care.
Yeah, I have the whole week off also, so it doesn't matter to me. But if there's something you guys want to do, we can talk about that later. But once again, a big thanks goes out to Anna B. Meyer for her cool maps. And we will hopefully catch you guys next week. So everybody have a good rest of your week. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we will maybe catch you on Tuesday, which would be fun. All right.
Good night, all.
Have fun storming the castle.
Goodbye, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, 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 and you, and you.